Hello my lovelies, here are the Ascension Oracle Messages for the sign of Libra for June. How you doing? Hope you're all well. We're ploughing through, aren't we, with the amazing ups and downs of life and yeah, all these strange goings on. So I've tuned into your energies and I've been given a vision, as I have for all of the signs. They are rather convoluted this month, so you might need to rewind and watch them once or twice to get the gist of what's going on. I've got to try and figure it out myself as I'm getting it, and then how it applies to you. So there's quite a few little bits, so here we go. The first thing I saw was the big top, like in a circus, and trapeze artists. So the guy who's the holder, swinging backwards and forwards, so he's hanging upside down, ready to catch you as you're swinging and flying towards him, looping the loop, and he catches you without a net. Then the next part of it was bungee jumping. So you jumping off a bridge, cliff, with a huge elastic band tied to your ankle, and then woo, coming back up again. And then the next bit was there's a song that goes with it, but I won't sing it, called Up in a Balloon Boys. So you're going up in a hot air balloon. So when I asked, well, what are all these three things having common, they're all to do with taking a risk, totally trusting that somebody is hanging on to you, and that you will land or arrive safely wherever it is you are leaping from or into. And whenever I see a vehicle of any sort, it's always our journey through life. So this is a hot air balloon, which is an interesting one. And I saw this you in a hot air balloon flying across the countryside and then across mountains, and with hot air balloons you have to rely on the thermals, not your thermal underwear, but the thermals of the way that the air moves to lift the balloon up, and also to help it move in the right direction. So you haven't really got any steering. There's no steering wheel really with a hot air balloon. So, and I saw it drifting across towards some mountains, and I think you would have probably needed your thermals, because it was it came down into this sort of mountainous area, and it landed by a place called Shangri-La. Now there's an old black and white movie made in, I think, 1934, with, I think, Ronald Coleman in the lead, and it was called Lost Horizons. They have made other versions since then, but the original is the best one. And this place called Shangri-La was a sort of a magical place hidden within the mountains. So outside of this place it was below freezing, it was snow, it was uninhabitable. But within this place called Shangri-La, it was tropical, it was beautiful, it was like heaven on earth. And the characters in the movie were the victims of a plane crash, and they were rescued by some people who lived in Shangri-La and took them back to this place, where any injuries that they received were miraculously healed, and all of the people that lived there all had this sort of luminous quality about them. And it turned out they'd all lived for many, many hundreds of years without aging. They all looked exactly the same. But the one proviso was, if they left Shangri-La, they would age and probably die. So they were living this idyllic life in this beautiful place, which was totally magical, but they knew that if they left, they would revert to their original age when they first went there. So I'm asking, well, why are you showing me this vision? And so the other three aspects of the trapeze, the bungee jump and the hot air balloon, it's all to do with air. You're an air sign. Libra is an air sign. And it's to do with your intellect, how you think about things, how you communicate with others and with yourself. And all the parts of it were up, right high up. So in the big top of the circus tent, and the hot air balloon, and even with the bungee jump, you had to be high to jump down and then come back up again. So this says to me that there's a situation around you which calls for complete and utter trust. You taking a leap of faith, you diving into something, you wanting to have broader horizons, knowing that somebody is actually going to catch you on the old trapeze. And when you arrived at this place called Shangri-La, as you coming out of a period of being frozen out, where you may have felt like you were hibernated and could possibly have been injured or your movement restricted in some way. And then what is coming in for you is it doesn't necessarily feel like it is somebody rescuing you. It's you rescuing you. So your higher aspect coming in to lift you out of this immobile period around you, to sort of thaw you out, to heal any wounds that you might have had, be they physical or emotional or mental wounds. So to help you to become rehabilitated and refreshed and revitalized. And I feel that the theme of this reading for you guys this for June, and it goes way beyond June, and looking at the other readings that I've done for the other signs, they're very, very different to what I've given you in the last few months, because it's all to do all to do with these massive energy shifts that we're being bombarded with on the planet. So we've got coronal flares from the sun, and solar flares, and planetary alignments, and all of this stuff, and following other people's comments about how they're all feeling these energies, how they're trying to cope with the changes that are going on in their bodies and such like. For some, it's been really, really tough, really hard work, wanting to sleep all the time, having no energy at all, just about functioning. 1 minute feeling really depressed, the next minute feeling really joyful and on top of the world and such like. So as you move through this energy of June, it feels like there's a support system coming in to bring you out of this sense of isolation and, as I say, being frozen out, to wake you up to seeing what you can actually manifest. What you thought perhaps was never going to show up was never going to manifest in your lives. So the cards reflect this. So we have some oracle cards here for you, and they reflect this vision quite strongly. So we have angel card is brotherhood. There's a whole team of angels, and some of you may have heard of the Brotherhood or the White Brotherhood. Which is a group of lovely people. I think they're based in London, and they channel through White Eagle, who is a Native American spirit guide who comes through and gives these beautiful, profound messages. Oh, and another part of the vision was I saw Native Americans doing like a fire dance. So they'd lit a fire, they were in a circle and they were dancing around it, all chanting, all stamping their feet, all in unison. And this said to me, again, as part of this vision and this reading, is it's ancient wisdom coming through. So this brotherhood that's coming in around you, you're a member of it anyway. It's not like it's outside of you. This energy is part of you and always has been. So if you've been floundering around, like I said, feeling you were frozen out in the unthawing of things, it's a mouthful, this brotherhood is coming in. Perhaps it's been dormant, perhaps it's been hibernating within you, but it's literally coming in now to show you that love and support and clarity that you've been longing for in many ways. And then the self-mastery card, trust. So like with being on the trapeze, like jumping off a bridge with a bungee rope on you, like going up in a hot air balloon. You know, they can be scary things, but trusting totally that you are being guided, you're being looked after, you're being nurtured, you're so safe. You are so safe. Whatever leaps you take now, all of the support systems are in place. Everything is there that you could possibly need. So the trust card says, having recognized my mastery, I trust myself. I am able with each connection I make to base it firmly in trust, both in myself and in the one I face. So sometimes the one we face is us. When we look in the mirror, we're facing ourselves. And the one you face also is your higher aspect. So with the animal card for you, this is really very interesting too. This is the grouse. And it's to do with the spiral dance of life, or bringing joy. It's play, it's fun, it's laughter, it's not seriousness. But also this is about your DNA. So the DNA is a double helix, so they spiral around each other. And a spiral is not straight. It starts like that and opens up. So a bit like a vortex of energy. So this is saying to me that your sense of self is changing dramatically, that the spiral energy of your DNA, the codes are awakening. We have codes in our DNA and within our skeletal structure, so our crystalline structure, and these codes are placed there millennia ago, and it comes down through the family line, our lineage, and at certain points in humankind's history, these codes are activated. And a lot of them are being activated right now because of all of these huge earth changes and shifts and awakenings. So when the grouse dances, it stamps its feet. So like I saw with the Native Americans going around the fire, and it doesn't dance in a circle, it dances in a spiral. So there's an energy here about you waking up to this higher aspect as shown in the three first parts of the vision. Total trust that you've been guided in the right direction. And as these codes do wake up or become activated within us, our bodies have to get used to it or adjust to it, or start to feel our way into this more of a lightness of being. So you may find that where things have been out of balance, they come back. So you are Libra, you are of the scales, you are about balance in your lives. And if you look at this beautiful ball that the angel is holding, it is Mother Earth, but it's also like a womb. And within that is what we give birth to. It's like we are also being held within a womb, a cosmic womb, I suppose, of being birthed into a new, an awakening, an alignment, ascension energies. So raising our consciousness to a much higher level. And so with this card, this angelic energy is supporting, guarding, holding us and Mother Earth as we ascend, as we wake up to all of these extraordinary changes going on within us. So as I said, for some of you, you may have felt or are feeling way out of whack. That what you thought was your ordinary everyday lives and how things would pan out for you were going to be one way. And then something comes along to wake you up and you think, oh, where the heck did that come from? And for some it can be overwhelming because it is like this huge wave of energy sort of flooding all over you. But balance is there. As I say, you have this energy of brotherhood and trust. So whatever is happening to you on whichever level, there is always an answer and a solution. So the little grouse card says, find your rhythm, honor the synchronicities, spiral into your potential. So whatever your rhythm is, if it's been out of whack, it's bringing yourself back into a rhythm that feels comfortable for you. Honor the synchronicities. So when things show up in your life and you think it's out of the blue, and you might be asking all sorts of questions about, why is this happening to me? Why is that taken away from me? Why do I feel up here one day and down there the next day? The synchronicity will bring you those answers, those solutions. And I also get the sense that the story of Shangri-La, and apparently it isn't just a story, apparently there is a place in the mountains of Tibet, in that area, that is enchanted, where the masters live. And we can visit it in our dream state. So you can set an intention when you are going to sleep, that that's somewhere that you would like to visit and return from. and just be prepared to perhaps have a shamanic journey and go see what it is like there. And in a way, it is like visiting another plane, another existence. Some could call it heaven. But know that whatever it is that you learn there is for your highest good, and that you can leave, because we can visit and we can leave, and we can visit and we can leave. The people in the original story of it, they could have left at any time, but because they were so happy there, they decided to stay. So the romance angels, this is lovely, it's the card of attraction. And this isn't just about romance, I feel. Yes, for some of you, you've been working through finding a balance in your love lives, in your romantic partnerships, etc. And this is also to do with the law of attraction. So what we put out there, we get back. So if you're putting out there feelings of unworthiness, you will draw in someone who doesn't respect you, who doesn't reply to your text, doesn't show you any feelings of worthiness. And it says, you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So when you look at this beautiful picture, the lovely lady is smelling a rose. That is romance. Romance isn't just being with a loved one or a partner. Romance is seeing the beauty in everything that is around us. So she's seeing, feeling, smelling, absorbing everything about that rose. When we see a sunset or a sunrise or something extraordinary in nature, that is romance. So to attract romance into your life with regard to your partnership is when you start to pay attention and look at things in your life with that sense of awe, you are activating romance. And once it's active within you, then you will draw to you, you will attract to you someone who has an equal vibration, who sees the beauty in life. I was with a new friend the other day. As I left my house, a bee came and buzzed around both of our heads. And I said, oh, thank you, bee. Thank you for your visit. That's just so lovely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And she looked at me sideways. And I said, bee is about busyness, industriousness. That means we're both going to be busy. Oh, she said. So we started walking. Then from the left flew across the most enormous dragonfly. And I said, oh, look, dragonfly. And I said, it's come in from the left. So that means something's leaving our lives. So dragonfly is about illusion. So we're being disillusioned. So illusion leaving our lives. And then we came across a dead seagull. She said, what does that mean? I said, right, well, seagulls are to do with garbage and recycling. And I said, because that one's dead, then this is a big pat on the back. You're doing really well, getting rid of your garbage, your emotional baggage, your recycling stuff, you're transmuting. And then the last beautiful creature we saw was a young pony. And he was so beautiful. And she said, oh, this is the first time I've ever got close to a horse. And it let her stroke it, and he was nuzzling her. I said, well, horse energy is your personal power. And it's coming in a smaller form, not a great big horse, but a lovely young pony. So that's activating your personal power within you. So on this lovely walk that we took, we saw 4 amazing creatures who all brought us a message, and it was all romantic. So to see what we saw, to notice what we saw, to notice what we noticed, and to tap into the messages and the energies that they were sharing with us, that is romance. Because you can see things and just sort of not pay any attention to them. But when you do pay attention to them, you are activating something within you that is probably due to be activated, so these codes awakening. And then you are totally in tune, totally aligned with the law of attraction and what it wishes to bring you in the positive. So we'll finish off with a Angels of Abundance card. You may be able to get hold of the movie Lost Horizon. I know it's still out there. I think I've got a copy myself somewhere. It's not very long. Apparently they filmed it in Hollywood, and they had this huge refrigerated lorry, enormous refrigerated lorry, which they filmed inside because California's jolly hot, but they had to have people look as though they were walking up the mountains with cold breath coming out of them and being really, really chilly. So again, dispelling illusions there. Right, let's see what we got for you. Angels of Abundance. What have we got for lovely Libras? Oh, look. Take a divinely guided chance. Oh, isn't that lovely? So it's, you know, it's the trust and this sense of brotherhood. Lovely. Oh, beautiful. So we've got these two children completely in awe, looking at this beautiful little gadget here with the candles and all the light that it's sending out around them. And there's a little angel in there. So this says, all positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. Oh, there are 2 little cherubs there. Oh, there's more. There's 4 little baby cherubs. So that there are little cherubs. So this is being like a child, taking that divinely guided risk. Leaving behind things that don't serve you anymore, even though it's like a comfy old armchair or a comfy old pair of tracksuit bottoms, but they got a bit grubby and they're full of holes. And just stepping out of that and just allowing yourself to fall into the arms of the angels, fall into the arms of the universe. Know that you'll be caught. Know that you're supported. Know that you are safely being guided to a lost horizon. So I do hope that's been of some help to you, my darlings. And these visions, they are getting a bit convoluted, and I just have to go with how my my team are guiding me through these oracle messages for you. So if you'd like to leave me a comment, that would be lovely. If you'd like a private session or to commission a piece of my artwork, all of the details are in the box below. So I do wish you a wonderful June. You're all going to be flying high. Just know that whatever comes in, it's divinely guided. So I love you and leave you. Till next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.